Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we are going to be talking all about products that I regret buying. I love trying new things. That is something that I am super passionate about, and I really do. I love products. So from time to time I do come across things that I just don't really like. So I thought I'd share them with you guys and let you know what to avoid when you are out makeup shopping. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I actually don't have anymore because I ended up returning it because it was a higher priced item, but I will insert a picture of it. It is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation. It's originally $39. I think I picked it up for around $20 during the last, or maybe 2 times ago of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I don't really remember. I think it was the last one. It's not important. Anyways, I ended up trying it then, and I tried it a lot of different ways. I tried it with a brush, I tried it with a sponge, I tried it with my fingers, and no matter what I did, it just didn't ever like sink into the skin or become one with my skin. It always just kind of sat on top, and it was really weird, and it broke up really quickly through like during the day. Like I would put it on and then maybe, I don't know, I would probably put it on around like 6:30 in the morning, maybe 7 at the latest, and then by like 10 it would be broken up on my face. It was just not good. And for a higher ticketed item, and I mean originally it's around $40, so I mean that is pretty pricey if you're paying full price for it. I expect it to perform better than drugstore foundations, and this just did not. And I was really looking forward to it because it did say like a gel foundation, so I was thinking it would be really light and nice on the skin, and it did. It felt okay, but it just like did not ever settle. It was always just like moving around, and I mean I would powder, I would do everything I could, and it just did not work. So I would definitely say avoid that, especially if you have oily skin. Maybe if you have dry skin or normal, it does work better, but for some reason on my oily skin, it just did not work. Okay, another foundation I want to talk about is the Lottie London Selfie Ready Medium Coverage Matte Foundation. I bought this because I heard Emily Noel 83 talking about it, and I like a lot of Lottie London things. This is a brand you can find on Ulta's website. I have the shade Toasted Almond. It's a really good shade match for me, but it kind of performed the same way the Tarte one did. It just never settles on the skin. It doesn't keep me matte, and it says it's a matte foundation. I don't agree with that at all. It definitely, you know, my shine was showing through pretty quickly. It breaks up like crazy. It is a thin consistency, and so that's like not a gripe that I have. I do like that, but it just was so slippery on the skin. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It was just slippery. It broke up. Again, this performed very similar to the Tarte, and I didn't like it. Okay, let's move on. Oh, this thing. Okay, so this is from Sally Beauty. This is the generic value products. So they have like skincare and hair care in this brand that are basically like dupes for high-end things. So I love their moisturizer that's kind of their dupe of the Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizer. I love that. So I picked up this eye cream because it was like, I think it was buy one get one free one time. So I picked up this eye cream to get it for free, and it's the Advanced Eye Renewal Cream, and it says compared to the Neutrogena Rapid Dark Circle Repair Eye Cream. This did the complete opposite thing of what an eye cream is supposed to do. Like an eye cream is supposed to hydrate and like really kind of fill in your lines and make it really nice under there. But this dried it out. Like I started to get dry right here where I already have some crow's feet, and I'm like, honey, I don't need that to be any more dry than it already is. And so I would get really dry right here, and it would itch, you know, because it was like flaky, dry skin. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I bet it's that new eye cream I'm using. And as soon as I stopped using this, a couple days after, this part of my eyes it was back to normal. It wasn't dry anymore. It wasn't crepey or flaky or anything. So this did the complete opposite of what an eye cream is supposed to do. Okay, a couple other things that I have picked up from Sally's. So this is from the Ardell one. This is the Wispy's Fiber Building Mascara. No. It did not build. It was very much just a wet formula. It didn't build. It didn't make my lashes look wispy. It was just weird. I didn't like it at all. And then this is the No Slip Liquid Lip Liner from Ardell. I was really intrigued by this because I've never heard of a liquid lip liner, so I will give them credit for a new idea. However, this doesn't do what a lip liner is supposed to do. A lip liner is supposed to sit on that perimeter of your lips and keep everything in your lip line and like where it's supposed to be. And because this is a liquid lip liner, a liquid lip liner, it doesn't do that. It's like a marker. So once it dries down, it kind of stains, and so, but there's not any texture to it because it's such a thin liquid type consistency. So there's no grip. So it doesn't, like typical lip liners, like pencils, they will sit on the lips and you can almost feel them. You know, they have some texture. They tend to be a little bit drier, and they, you know, they set, but you can still kind of feel where they are versus where your lips are. I don't know if I'm making sense, but this doesn't do that because it's a liquid formula. So because it's such a thin formula in itself, it doesn't really like build a little perimeter around your lips, you know, or like a little wall to keep everything in. It just kind of stains and then everything just kind of bleeds outside of it because this is a very thin consistency. So I just didn't like it because it didn't do what a lip liner was supposed to do. Okay. I have two things from the Collab brand. I did do a full face first impressions on this recently, this new brand at Sally's that's a collaboration, I think, with like 7 different influencers. So the first thing I have is the satin lipstick in Yes Ma'am. It's already breaking. It was breaking like when I first opened it, so I didn't like that. Also, it is the waxiest, I don't know if that's a word, but it is extremely waxy on the lips. It feels kind of like a crayon. It's just, it's not pigmented. Like you have to go back and forth a lot. So that's going back and forth. That's what the color looks like. But if I just do it one swipe, you see the difference between like back and forth a lot and then one swipe. And it's just patchy. It's extremely waxy. It's not a fine formula, or a good formula at all. It's not even a fine formula. And it says it's full body lipstick, but it's not. Like, it's not opaque. It's not creamy. It feels, like I said, just very thin, very waxy. It kind of makes your lips look gross because of how thin and waxy it is. It's shiny, but it kind of settles into every crevice of your lip. So it looks really just gross and weird. I don't like it. Another thing I didn't like was the concealer. This is the No Flaws Liquid Concealer in, I have beige tan. And I don't like this because of how not full coverage it is. And I'm not somebody who needs a really full coverage concealer, but I do. This blended away, and that's, I guess, the best way to describe it, because when you put it on, you're like, oh, great. It was like, it looks like it'll be pretty good. But then as you start blending, it just kind of disappears. And I just don't like that. And this is not a cheap product. I think this was around $13. And to be honest, I would say it performs very similar to, like, I would even say the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer is better than this. It's a little drier, but it's better than this because at least it stays where you put it and it like stays on. This just, it blended away really quickly, and I was almost thinking at first, I was like, oh, I think I'm blending too much. But it's still, it just kind of disappears. Even if I just blend it a little bit and blend it in, then it's like, well, you know, by the time I'm done with the rest of my face, even when I set it with powder, it's like, it just kind of disappears. It's really weird. I don't really like it at all. And I definitely don't think it's worth the price tag. Okay, I have 2 more things. This is the Flower Beauty In Your Prime Pore Minimizing Primer. I recently did a hits and miss on Flower Beauty's new releases. I liked a lot of things. This is the one thing I didn't like. It says it smooths and blurs, it's a long-lasting makeup wear, and it's mattifying. I don't really agree with any of it. I don't know if it really made my makeup last longer. I don't really think it did. It doesn't smooth and blur, and it definitely doesn't mattify. It just kind of doesn't do anything. And it is a green color. And so a part of me is like, oh, is it supposed to be color correcting? Maybe, because it's, but that's not even one of the claims, you know? Like, I just usually think a green primer, like a green anything, is supposed to be color correcting to red. But that's not one of its claims. And it kind of feels hydrating. It doesn't really feel like your typical mattifying or pore filling primer. So it just doesn't really do anything. So I just don't think it's worth it. Okay, lastly, I have this NYX Ombre Blush. Now, this is a product I changed my mind on. I thought I really liked this. No, I do not. So this is in the shade Mauve Me. Really pretty in the pan. Like, I like those type of colors. It's almost very similar to what I'm wearing on my lips today. But it's very gray on the face. I thought I really liked this, and I had decluttered all of my other ombre blushes but this one. But then I put it on somewhat recently, and it looked straight up gray on my face. Like, it looked like I was wearing a gray blush, and I was like, oh, no, we're not going there. So I threw it in this bin because, I don't know, it just looks weird. Like, you see how gray that looks? And then, so it looks like it loses a lot of the pinkiness, I feel like. Like, I feel like in the pan, maybe it looks a little bit more pink, but then once you get it on and really blend it in, it looks gray. I could not handle that. All right, guys, that is it for this products that I regret buying video, things I just did not like and that I definitely wanted to just let you guys know to stay away from. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a product that you've tried recently that you think is just terrible and that no one should ever buy, leave it in the comments down below so we can all kind of avoid that product. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.